Stories Podcast, your number one show for everything guitar.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is I, Andy, solo tonight because Dr. Dan is sadly ill. Not ill to the point where he won't be back at some point in the future, but ill that he can't make it tonight. And that's the sad news. The good news is that we do have a substitute co-host, and I'm very excited that she's here with us. It's Nicole Milik. Hey, Nicole.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be back and co-hosting a podcast about gear and guitars, and I am very excited. I don't want to start it off negative saying I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm very excited.
I am very excited to be here with you. I'm of course sad that Dan is not here, so we'll just have a little moment of sadness.
Sending all the best wishes your way, Dan.
I believe he's in the chat actually. So
is he?
I see people saying hello to Dr. Dan. So hello to Sarang, hello Artie Smudge, Valeria, David Dillinger, Valiant Guitars. Look, there's a Valiant guitar just there. Hang on.
What is a Valiant guitar? Oh, that one.
That one there. That's the Jupiter from Valiant Guitars. It's beautiful. You like it, I think. It's very comfy, very huggable. Just like Dan. Although I wouldn't call Dan comfy. Dan's edgy and rock and roll, of course.
Of course.
There he is. He's in the chat. So if you're listening on the audio version, welcome to the show. Dan is ill this week. I have the wonderful Nicole Milik with me here, who is our guest, but also our co-host and our chooser of gear as well this week.
Oh, my God.
If you don't know Nikki, then the reason I say it like that is because, Nicole, you are a proper musician, a proper singer-songwriter, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you don't really care about gear. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is very much correct, yeah. I have no idea. I just really don't care. And it was my first time being on like gear news and guitar websites and reading through all the new gear. It was interesting, very interesting. Yeah, especially when you don't know what any of it is. It's very, very fascinating in a way.
Did you learn anything?
I think so, yeah. I had to prepare my gear of the week. So, I've got notes down here just because I'm very nervous and I take everything very seriously. So, yeah.
I forgot to write to Dan, but I was going to put money on the fact that you'd have notes for tonight because that's a very sensible thing to do. And the closest thing I've got to notes is this ripped book of half-finished Sudoku.
I love it.
Which I was doing that instead of actually planning the show. So apologies, everybody, but priorities. Sudoku is there. I noticed we've got some people here from your channel as well, your wonderful YouTube channel. Jack, I recognize.
Jack and Ellen and Tilly.
Ellen as well.
Cool. Hello, everybody. So good to see you.
Welcome to the show, everybody. And we've got some moderators from my channel here. So moderators, thank you for moderating. And also, if you could find Nicole's channel link in the video description and throw that in the chat, that would be amazing. It will be in the link to the audio podcast version of this show as well. Oh, it's so good to be back. I've been ill as well, Nikki. So, you know.
Have you? Oh, no.
I have been terribly ill, yes.
Oh,
I think I gave
I'm
it to Dan
glad you're feeling
via
better. Imagine that.
I am imagining it.
That'd be tragic. So I'm the next to be ill.
Yeah,
Cool.
You're next. That's it. I hope you've got videos planned. Anyway, enough of this banter and actually having fun. We should probably do a real show because in your notes it probably says that we should do the news next. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we'll do the news.
What are the news?
News. Guitar news, Nikki. Now, Fender. Have you heard of Fender?
I have heard of Fender, yeah.
Good start. Off to a good start. And Presonus, audio interfaces, that kind of stuff, speakers, things that help you make music, basically. So Fender, very famous for things that make music. Presonus, very famous for making things that help you record that music and stuff like that. Fender have just bought Presonus or acquired or somehow own them. Not really much information out there at the moment, really. I just thought it was interesting that Fender are doing so well at the moment, building guitars and the like and supporting the guitar community. They've done that awful corporate thing of buying another company.
Let's see where that goes.
Valeria suggested Fendronus. I like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good. Now, I try to guess where this is going. So Presonus make recording stuff and that sort of software as well. I wonder where Fender would take that. I think we might be seeing guitars with extra stuff in them soon. Because that's what guitars need, right?
Ooh, extra stuff.
Extra stuff.
I like it plain, but let's go for the extra stuff.
Yes, extra stuff. Pickups, audio interfaces. In fact, maybe a guitar with a USB interface could be useful. We've had a few of them. But
those things exist. Guitars with USB interfaces.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Plug
I really
USB
should
straight
read the gear news more often.
Or just read my WhatsApp messages when I send them. I'll send them daily. Andy's daily gear update.
Cool.
But anyway,
sign me up.
I don't know. Oh, a suggestion from Dr. Dan. Let's have him on screen. Dr. Dan has suggested that Fender might be upping the ante on the next iteration of Acoustasonics? That's a good suggestion. I will text you later, Dan. just on that. So that's some news. I've got some more news, which is slightly more interesting, I think. Not that that's not interesting, but this should be uplifting. I ripped it straight from guitar.com. It's an article talking about the prospects of the future of guitar. So there was a big boom in guitar sales and musical instrument sales post-Beatles. Like, everybody wanted to play guitar because everybody wanted to be a rock star or be a mop top. And I like this headline. It says, "Current prospects are brighter than during the post-Beatles era. An expert weighs in on the guitar boom's post-pandemic future." So many keywords, and I love the word expert there. I think that's brilliant.
But you know what? I've actually noticed... I noticed that nowadays music has got a lot of guitar sounds in it as well. Like, I think that there was a time where especially acoustic guitar wasn't as popular, and now I feel like that might be coming back, like electric guitar and acoustic guitar. So maybe that's also, inspiring people to play the guitar more. Maybe.
Can we take any credit for that?
I don't know. Can we?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Let's
you're
do it.
Welcome, everybody. I've got some sound effects somewhere, but there we go. I don't know if that was the right one, but it felt like the right one. But basically, this article, you're right. It says that Fender is still having a hard time keeping beginner and intermediate guitars in stock because people haven't got that much to do, not going out. I know this has changed, but I've noticed a lot more beginners. And I know we've talked about Fender before, but Fender have the Fender Play community thing, which is an amazing community for learning guitar. Have you heard of it, Nikki?
No, I've not.
Okay, sorry for putting you on the spot, but it's like an app for learning. It's a
it's
Facebook
okay.
group.
Basically, to everyone listening and watching, I basically don't know anything, so you're not putting me on a spot. I just literally, maybe I've actually seen a sponsor Instagram post of that. Is that possible?
Very.
Do they advertise that? I think they do. I think I've seen it somewhere. Now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Good. That
explain what it
means
is.
They're doing their job. Well, basically, Fender are supporting new guitar players. They're bringing in or trying to help bring in more guitar players because what happened is that, and my maths are going to be completely off now, but I think something like 50% of all new players stop within the first 6 months or a year because it gets difficult. So it might even be less. It might be like 20% survive, which is awful figures. In fact, I know Dan's in the chat. I think it might be 10%. I'm changing my numbers as the show goes on. But like from a business point of view, if there are, let's say 10% of guitar players sticking around after a year, if we can raise that to 20%, which is still only 20%, but that's double. And that's good for, I think, everybody involved. Sarang has come to my savior. It's 50% by Fender's figures. Thank you. Thank you, Sarang.
There you go.
Do you encounter any like new players that come to you for advice, or anybody that's been inspired by you?
A lot of people all the time. One thing I don't really understand, but it's okay. Lots of people always ask me for like chords, and I'm like, if that's like the first thing that you have trouble with finding, that makes things very difficult, because you can find like chords to any song on the internet everywhere. So I always get a bit confused about that question, but I definitely have a lot of people asking me for tips and tricks on how to get past that point of where it just really hurts, for example, and it gets really difficult. And if I can throw like a little tip in here, I'd say get a good guitar, even if you're just a beginner. I think so many beginners start off with like really cheap sounding guitars as well. And I think that's gonna just, gonna throw you off real quick, I think. So get a good guitar and just keep playing.
More.
Even if it hurts, just keep on going.
Play through the
It's gonna
pain.
get better.
And write a song about the pain. It's called the dreaded F chord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It's like, man, wow, where am I from?
It's okay. Go for it, man.
I'm a bit rusty. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. It's okay, dude. It's
Go ahead, man.
Sorry. I agree that buy the best guitar you can, and there's so like I have my first guitar, my first electric, and my first acoustic. I managed to find the electric again, and it's awful. It's so bad. And even when I review like extremely affordable guitars, cheap guitars, I can use the word cheap there, like €100, they are so much better than what I started off with. And the guitars today are so much better than they were. I think it's a golden age.
A golden age for guitars. Go get yourself a nice guitar, everybody.
Yeah, but great advice. If you are starting to play guitar, then get the best one you can afford and really push it. And try not to get a toy guitar, because there are some of them out there.
Yeah, and I would say a good guitar isn't necessarily expensive, because someone said a lot of beginning guitar players do not have a lot of money and they do not know what to look for. So just to make it clear, you don't have to buy an expensive guitar. I think there are really affordable guitars that just get a guitar that sounds nice, because your first, if you start playing the guitar, it's not going to sound nice for a longer time. So to get yourself a guitar that's not going to sound super duper bad, if you just play whatever. So
did you have when you were growing up in schools and educational places, did you have the sort of school guitars that were nylon strung and just really wide fretboards and not looked after?
Yeah, but we had really good guitars because one of our music teachers, he was a guitarist. So it was nylon guitars, but it was, what do you call these? Ortega, is that a brand?
Ortega,
I think so.
yeah.
Ortega, yeah. So they were really nice sounding guitars. So they weren't like super, super crappy.
Okay, well, the ones good. I had were awful. Again, it's a miracle that I'm still here. But also, I kind of enjoy a crap guitar.
We're so glad you are.
Thank you. But extra, if you're wondering how to buy a guitar, there are plenty of tips and stuff on YouTube. Find someone you trust, not someone who's just trying to get you to click their affiliate link. Find someone like Nikki who will play something that will inspire you. And we're really on our soapbox now. We're going for it. Yes, do as we say.
Woo!
But yeah, gear's nice, but generally that first guitar can make or break a relationship, I think.
Absolutely. I think so too.
And if you really want, because he's not actually here, you could also try one of the very affordable, very well-made Ibanez guitars.
Of course. That was a good one.
He's not here, so I'll throw that in for him. Thank you very much. Yeah. So That was our news. That was our sort of pre-news also soapbox scene where we inspire guitar players. I enjoy that. I'd love to make that a weekly segment where Nicole Milik comes on and inspires you to play an instrument.
I'd love that. What happened to the Frozen segment? Is there a Frozen segment? Is there a Star Wars segment? Do we have a Star Wars segment? Oh, okay.
I wore my T-shirt especially for you.
Love that. I have no idea what that means, but Iron, what does it say?
It's my T-shirt. It's got the Iron Maiden logo.
May.
Oh God.
But
I'll let you out. Look, wait, stop. I will excuse and even admire the gear fear, but be careful when it comes to Star Wars and the Mandalorian.
Oh, that's why it says Mando. Okay, got it. Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
I see. Okay, good.
Sorry, kids. Mummy and Daddy having a fight. Right.
I'm so sorry.
I've got a little surprise for you. We've got your gear picks. And around this point, it would be Dan's pick first. And he would have a little song.
Okay.
So I've prepared something for you. Dan, I'm very sorry.
Nikki's pick of the week. Nikki's pick of the week.
I love that so much.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good job, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you. That's why
amazing.
That's why I text you to see how to spell Nikki.
If I could have that for my YouTube videos, that would be awesome.
Sure, it's licensable. Very, very easy
Okay.
to license on a monthly fee basis.
Okay, cool.
Or actually, that could be, in all fairness, you are taking over the very well-paid role of co-host tonight, so I think it's only fair that you get that for free.
Oh, okay, cool. So let's talk about my pick of the week, the virtual Jeff. I was so excited just because of the name, Virtual Jeff. Like, I was just so impressed by the name choice of that company, Virtual Jeff. And we're talking about a digital whammy bar, which I only know from electric guitars, but this one, because it's a virtual whammy bar, you can just put it onto any guitar. So even an acoustic guitar. And that is what sparked my interest. So I clicked on the link and I saw that you can just tape it onto any guitar, so you can also change it up, like whatever guitar you're playing you can just put it on, and I think you plug it into like a stomp box and it's got 2 channels.
Hang on, I've got a picture for you. I've got a picture of the stomp box. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Look at it. There's like hold and blend and something. I didn't really understand that, but there's like a demo video, and I watched the entire demo video, and it's a really good demo video. So if you're interested in the Virtual Jeff, go check out the demo because it's really, really good. But basically, you can use, wait a second, I need my notes for that, but you can set up 2 settings at once, and you can switch in between songs or like within a song. So if you're playing, you can just switch it by tapping on the button, and I thought that was kind of class. And the thing that just I think is genius is that it's got a virtual capo, so you can basically access higher keys, or you can drop tunings in between songs or as you play a song. Imagine that, just dropping a key. I think that would actually be the feature that would interest me the most, because when I go live on YouTube, sometimes I would like to just go straight into another song, but if I have to switch capo, then I need to take a break. But with the Virtual Jeff, I could just go with the flow.
Why didn't they get you to do the promo video?
So get yourself a Virtual Jeff, my friends. It's
May I point out, they've called it the Virtual Jeff Pro.
Virtual Jeff Pro, which just makes it even better if you ask me.
I don't know the history behind that name, but I want it based, as you said, on the name alone. I'm interested, but then the features you've also mentioned. My issue would be that if you put a virtual capo on acoustic, you can still hear the acoustic.
Yeah.
That would throw me.
You know what? In the demo video, you don't hear the acoustic. They try it out on an acoustic, and you can't hear the acoustic. So maybe they tricked us all a bit in that demo video, because you're totally right. You would actually hear the right key and then the not so right key.
You'd
Yeah,
have to be an
that would be an
amazing
issue.
musician to hear, let's say E and sing in D.
Mm-hmm.
There's a challenge video for you.
Thanks for the inspo.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that could be an issue. So, but for electric guitar, it would work.
Yeah, I'm seriously interested. It is coming in at 499 euros, which is not cheap. Certainly not something you'd want to explore, without actually knowing what you want to do. But there is another pedal that I know of that does this same thing. If you're interested in just changing the key, it's called the Digitech Drop.
Okay.
And that's just the pedal part, and you'd say, I want to go a semitone down or 3 semitones up. So that's coming in,
That's
I think,
awesome.
around 150 euros. So, yeah, I think that's good. But one of my favorite gear picks ever, the Virtual Jeff Pro. I love it.
I love it so
Okay.
much. And it's really nice. Nice looking little whammy.
Don't forget
Very
we're
nice.
doing buy, borrow, or burn in a moment. So put that one somewhere on your list of whether you want to buy it, borrow it, or burn it.
Okay.
Nikki, can we move on to your next thing?
Yeah. So Kemper's got a new feature, and it's called the double tracker. Now, my producer is a big Kemper fan, and it's probably the only reason I know what Kemper is, because otherwise I probably would have never heard of it. But he uses it all the time. I think he's friends with the guy who invented Kemper, so he gets to try all the new stuff first. Yeah, he's a pro. So
Producer.
my producer,
Sorry.
he's awesome. I could drop some names. No, he uses it all the time in our sessions and for our songs, and I think it always got such unique sounds to it and styles to it. So yeah, Kemper I can recommend, although I've never tried it out myself. But basically, what that double tracker feature is that it turns a mono signal into a stereo double tracker. So basically, you would normally lay down multiple tracks of your guitar if you were recording, and this one you only have to record one, and it uses a time stretching algorithm, so it creates like timing variation, so it doesn't sound like the exact same guitar, but it actually sounds like there are two people playing guitar at the same time, but with like these little differences that just makes it sound a bit more natural. And I think that's kind of genius. So yeah, I think that's a great feature.
I agree. And it's absolutely free if you already own a Kemper.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So
Have you ever
Dan
used a
often
Kemper?
I said, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. I have never used a Kemper. Hello, my name is Andy, and I've never used a Kemper before. I know that's awful. As a gear reviewer and gear lover, I should, and people have opinions on them. I've just never played one. I know they're very, very popular. I've played other things like the Helix and the XFX. The good thing about the Kemper that Dan often mentions is that it's still the same one that's about 10 years old. So you can still, if you bought one about 10 years ago, you can still upgrade it to this brand new firmware that gives you the double tracker. And I think that's very cool when companies don't make their technology obsolete.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to answer your question, no, I've never played a Kemper, but I want to. I almost did several times. I just couldn't get around to it. And yeah, sorry.
I think you'd like it. Like if I like it, like it's very. I think it's very intuitive and like very nice to play around with. And
you've played
yeah,
one?
I think you like it. Well, I stood next to someone who played it, so I've seen how it works. But I've never used it myself.
Wow, we are very, very sorry. We're very sorry.
We're very sorry.
No, but I think that's a great choice. The double tracker, again, it's free, so it doesn't cost you anything as long as you own a Kemper. There's one. Dan has one actually. Just to
How much is a Kemper?
I think about $1,000. You know, there's different versions. There's ones with the power amp in, which the last time I checked was about 2,000. I'm really not up to date on the Kemper prices.
But I think then if you get all those like free updates all the time and free features, that's not too bad, is it? I mean, if the virtual Jeff is like $500, then
okay, you can get a Kemper for the price of just over 3 virtual Jeffs. So a Kemper is about 3 virtual Jeffs, which is the new currency that I shall be dealing with. That's half a Jeff. My goodness. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It does so much more than what we're saying right now. It's just, I like double tracking. I'm a Beatles fan, and it's necessary to do in stereo as well. I believe, which this can do. Whew, we are 2/3 of the way through your 3 picks. Would you like to choose your 3rd pick?
Yeah. Now, this is the Nobles ODR1 Natural Overdrive, which I have no idea what any of this means. And I only picked it because, first of all, it's like a limited edition in the green sparkle. I think dark green sparkle edition. How amazing is that? I mean, come on. But what sparked my interest with this one was that it said that it's very popular among Nashville session players. And I love Nashville. I'm a big country music fan. So I clicked on it and I read my way through it. It's got a bass cut switch, whatever that means. So if you're interested in that, it's got that. It helps control the low end frequencies. So go for it if you're interested in that. It's got a buffered bypass, which I have no idea what that means, but also very important. And it's got 3 controls, which you can see, that drive the spectrum and the level, and they glow in the dark. Can you believe it? They glow in the dark. Oh, sorry.
Genuinely can't. Oh, it's time for Nikki to leave.
Bye. So yeah, I think that's pretty genius. And then I clicked on the demo video, and oh my God, it just sounds like Nashville. It just sounds like Nashville. So if I ever buy myself an electric guitar, I'm going to get this pedal because it just sounds like you're in Nashville playing country music.
I do warn you, as you said, it is a limited edition. So would you be okay with a standard, they're normally green, but this is green sparkle. Would you be okay with a normal green?
I mean, the sparkle, it's a selling point for me. And there are only 2,000 of them. So if you want to get your hands on them, get it quick. Or are they sold out yet? I don't know.
I don't know, but they sent me a picture of it on Instagram and said, "Hey, Andy, look at this." And I said, "That's nice." And then we didn't speak again.
Oh, wow.
So that's my Nobles story. I have a Nobles ODR1, the non-limited edition ugly green one that nobody likes anymore because it's not the 2000 limited edition. It's a phenomenal pedal. And I also have the Wampler Bell Overdrive, which is a version of this. I think one of the best things about this, Nick, is the fact that the original is it's under €100, and this one is €139, which is still very affordable in the world of
It's very affordable.
Overdrives.
Yeah. Especially if you get a bit of sparkle. No, I really like it. It sounds really nice. Like, as I said, I've never used a pedal in my life. I have no idea why you use them or whatever, but it sounds really nice.
I agree. It's a very special overdrive. It used to be called The Secret of Nashville, and on mine it's got like The Secret of Nashville in the little booklet. It's one of those. Jack is in the chat taking the words out of my mouth. A third of a Jeff.
Third of a
Thank
Jeff.
you, Jeff.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's for a pedal that is so highly revered, it's affordable. It's not cheap. It's not like a $40 pedal or something, but it's pretty cheap.
How much is the non-limited edition one again?
Hang on. I knew you were going to ask me that, and I was just about to prepare it. The Nobles ODR1 Limited is 139, he says, as he tries to cover the fact that he is typing into the internet. Okay. You can get a mini version, a mini tiny one, for 79 euros.
Because then you
You get
could use
these-
your sparkly nail polish and just go over it.
Well, the standard one, the
A little life
non-sparkle
hack.
edition, is 119 euros. So you're paying an extra 20 euros for the sparkle.
For the sparkle. See? Get yourself like a very cheap nail polish that sparkles and just cover it in nail polish. There you go. Little pedal hack for you.
Hang on. Wait. Pedal hack of the week. Yeah. So the prices vary, of course, but for fear of missing out, FOMO, I actually do want one of those sparkly ones, which is awful because I don't need it. I
Yeah.
have the pedal that sounds exactly the same,
Get it.
but I understand you. I hear you.
It's worth the extra $20.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right. I might get it. Damn it.
It's
Thanks.
very
All right.
Christmassy. Looks like the Grinch, but it's in like
does look
very
like the Grinch.
Christmassy.
Nice kid. Bad character. Okay, well, thank you for your 3 gear picks of the week.
You're very welcome.
I'm going to play your little song again because I don't think anyone's ever going to hear it
Okay.
again in their life. So here's Nikki's pick of the week.
Nikki's pick of the week. Nikki's pick of the week. Andy's pick of the week.
Seamless, that was. Seamless.
Awesome.
My first pick of the week, Nikki, is also a pedal. This is the new Boss FZ1W. It's a fuzz pedal, which might be given away by the fact that it has fuzz written right across the front. It's a Wazacraft pedal, which means it's made in Japan rather than, I think, Taiwan is where Boss is making most of its pedals these days. It's a fuzz pedal, so I love it. It's probably something that I'm going to guess, Nikki, you would not necessarily need on your pedal board because it makes things go. But you might need it.
Okay.
You never know.
Who knows?
Some people might be watching this thing and listening to this thinking, I am very predictable that I was definitely going to choose this. Of course I am. Also good news, I've got one coming to me in the next few days because I actually begged Boss to send me one. And I will send it back. I just want to try it. I want to play it. I want to give everybody my fuzzy-headed, fuzzy opinion on the new fuzz pedal. Any thoughts, Nikki? This is a silvery sparkle pedal.
Is it sparkle? It kind of looks a bit sparkly, actually.
It's kind of a gunmetal-y kind of sparkle. It's not a sparkle like your Green Nobles, but it is kind of shiny.
Yeah. Okay, can you explain something to me? Because there are probably about 1 million fuzz pedals. Pedals.
Pedals.
Why? Pedals. Why do you, like, what makes this one so special?
Oh, Nikki. Sweet Nikki. You've stepped into the arena. Thank you for opening the door. I shall now try to explain. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the people in the chat to give their definition of why that is. And it's just an opinion, but everything's like a different flavor. It's like a different spice that you put on a meal. So,
Okay.
like, let's say if a fuzz pedal was a type of pepper, then you might want a little bit spicy, or you might want full on, kill my mouth spicy.
And this
And
one is
different-
Kill My Mouth Spicy.
I'm not saying that I haven't played it yet. I don't know. But it's just different flavors and, of course, different levels of marketing. Honestly, Nikki, I can be honest with everybody, but let's be honest now. You don't need all these pedals, but you
Okay.
want them.
Thank you. I understand. But, for me, who just never uses any of these things, it's a bit more difficult to understand. But I get the point. So, okay.
You're an Ed Sheeran
It's just
fan,
new
right?
and yes, I am.
Okay, what do you remember that song "Blow" he did with Chris Stapleton? Chris,
Yeah.
and it went
Blow?
down, da, 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 down, down, da, 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 down, ta, 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 ta. It was a really big rock song he did with, I think, Chris Stapleton.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
That's a
it was
fuzz
Chris
pedal on the
Stapleton.
guitar. That's a very
Okay.
classic fuzz tone. So it's really rock. It's really some fuzz pedals can be very polite. Some can be very nasty and gnarly and spitty and destroy your signal.
Hmm.
But that one's used in a very pop context. So with everything that I've attempted to explain badly, if you have another listen to the song "Blow," which Ed Sheeran is on, then you'll hear it in that opening guitar riff, and that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The real reason I'm interested in this pedal particularly is because Boss just released a fuzz pedal recently, a very limited edition one that looks very similar to this pedal. And now I will have all of the Boss fuzz pedals. So as a collection point of view, I have to.
Ooh.
Oh, hang on. Poo Ninja just
So
gave
you
us
really like
a great explanation. It's like pizza. So many options, but all is still pizza. Thanks, Pooh.
Okay.
Sorry, I spoke over you then, Nikki. What were you going to say?
I actually don't know.
Just
Probably nothing interesting.
blinded by
So
the
I'm just
fuzz.
going to say, okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you if you're like a real Boss fan. Then, like, do you like Boss pedals? If you've got all of them.
I haven't got all of them. I've got all the fuzz ones, and when I eventually
All the
have
fuzz
this one,
ones.
I'll have all the fuzz ones. I am. I mean, I have to say, I have to stay in the middle somewhere because as a gear reviewer, I can't favor one company over another.
Of course not.
But Boss, they changed pretty much everything back in the day. You know, you can go anywhere in the world and you can have a Boss pedal in a shop, I would say. So there are some pedals that I really love, but if I lost it, if I was ever to be touring or something like that, I'd be royally up the creek without a paddle.
Okay.
But if I had a Boss rig, you can walk into any guitar shop in the world, really, and say, have you got a Boss Blues driver? And they'll say, yeah, we've got 50. How many do you want? So
Okay, so
that's
let's
the
say
good thing
you're a
about Boss.
Fuzz fan. You're a
Fuzz
Fuzz
fan,
fan
yes.
more than a Boss fan.
For fuzz pedals, the last fuzz that Boss released, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the chat, is the FZ5, which was a digitally based kind of fuzz thing, which was not so popular as the FZ2 and the FZ3, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have those pedals, and if I was going for a fuzz pedal, I probably wouldn't choose Boss. There's your answer.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that's helped. But that all could change with this Wazacraft FZ1W because now this is not limited edition. It will eventually be available, hopefully everywhere, and hopefully priced correctly. So maybe I'll change it. Maybe I'll change. Actually, I've just seen the price is $199. That's quite a lot for a Boss pedal, but it's a Waza pedal, so they're more expensive. Nikki, what I'm going to have to do is say, everybody listening and watching, you have to wait for the review on my channel.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, I've got another pick.
Hit that notification bell.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Actually, yeah, smash the like button if you're watching this in the live chat. Come on, what are you doing with your life?
Really? Do it. Do it
I'm
now.
playing this for no reason whatsoever. Next up is a Harley Benton product called the Power Attenuator, the 250, the PA 250. Nikki, I'm going to guess that you don't know what that is, and I mean that with all the love and
no
respect that I
idea.
have in the world for you.
I saw it on that guitar news thing, and I was like, I have no idea what that idea is. I didn't even click on it. I got to be straight up honest, because I don't know what it is, and you probably gonna explain that to me.
Your honesty is endearing. Thank you. It's a power attenuator, and what that means is, to cut it down to its basics, you can take a really loud guitar amplifier and make it quieter.
Mm-hmm.
or even silent. So, like valve guitar amplifiers sound sometimes better when you play them loudly because they're really pushing the circuits, pushing the tubes, and you're getting some nice saturation, some nice general guitar electric tones. However, not everybody has a place in which they can power up a really loud amplifier. So things have come along called power attenuators, meaning that you can plug your amp in and the amp thinks that it's being played really loud. So I'm going to go for an analogy here. Wait a minute. If your amp were a dog, stay with me.
I'm scared.
If your amp was a dog, the dog is most happy when it's playing at the park, right? And doing dog things with other dogs and like having an amazing time. That's an amp when it's being played loudly or at the point where it's like really amplifying something. Because that's what an amp wants to do, amplify things. The power attenuator makes the dog think it's playing in a park, but you're actually sat on the sofa playing games or watching TV and not having to be a good dog parent. The dog just thinks that it's doing it. So you're lying to your dog.
Wow. You would have been a good teacher.
Thanks very much. Thanks. So all these
now
knobs
I know
and switches.
what a power attenuator. Power attenuator. The PA250.
Power
attenuator.
So what this does, it's got several knobs on. The one in the middle, you can use it for 8 ohms and 16 ohms. So different types of speakers, different types of outputs. That's great. It's not just stuck to one model. On the left, you can choose how much you're attenuating. So how much quieter you want that loud amp to be. You can also turn the amp off entirely. So the amp thinks it's making a lot of noise and it isn't. And then you can fine tune that with a fine tune knob. There's another picture. Excuse me. It's the same picture again if you listen to the audio version. It's just without the pink background. And then another picture's got a balanced out. So this is cool, Nikki. You can make your amp think that it's really, really loud. However, it's silent, and you can put that balanced out signal into your recording desk and record a very loud amp silently.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just game changing.
Game changing. For you maybe. For the guitar world, we've seen this before. What we haven't seen is the price of this thing. How much would you pay for one of those? How many Jeffs would you give for a 250 watt power attenuator from Harley?
I can't
Benton?
hear you anymore.
Oh. Hello, am I back?
Yeah, now you're back.
Okay.
I don't know if it
squiggle
was
then.
just me or if, but it's working
I think
again.
we're still live.
I
We'll
guess.
we'll carry on as if no one's. No, hang on a minute.
Oh.
You're welcome. Okay. Nikki, how many Jeffs would you pay for that?
Is that just me? Sorry, I couldn't hear you again. Was that just me? Okay, maybe it's me because I can't. I can hear you now. I think, but
I think it's just you because no one's shouting at me in the chat.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay, sorry. Then it's just me.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How many Jeffs would you pay for this attenuator?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a fifth of a Jeff.
A fifth of a Jeff. So we're talking €100. Is that what we're saying is a fifth
Yeah.
of a Jeff? You are scarily close.
Really?
It's €149.
Okay.
I'm going to give you that. That's pretty close. What's different about this, Nick, is power attenuators generally are slightly more expensive than that.
Okay.
So we don't know if that's any good. I haven't reviewed it, but I'm excited for the fact that guitar players that want to use their amps in little bedroom situations can. And it's a 250 watt, probably peak power. So you wouldn't want to run it at 250 watts all day, would you? No.
No. Probably not.
No. So it's closer to a third of a Jeff, but it's I'll give you the one Jeff. 1/5 of a Jeff, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
1/5 of a Jeff.
For the first time ever, Nicole Milik, buy, borrow, or burn Nikki's picks of the week. Let's find out.
Sorry,
what
I don't know what it is,
do.
but now I can hear you again. Sorry.
That's okay. It's
Technical
okay.
difficulties. Okay, I can
think
hear
it's
you again.
Dan. It's probably Dan trying to get back on the podcast. Dan, take a
Probably.
week off, mate.
Stop
Take
it.
A rest. Let's buy, borrow, or burn.
Buy, borrow, or burn.
So, buy, borrow, or burn. We've had several pieces of gear this week, and I'll just run through them again. We had Nikki picking the Virtual Jeff Pro, which is the whammy bar virtual thing for any guitar, including an acoustic. We had the Kemper profile update, allowing you to double track, which Nikki's producer would very much enjoy. I don't know why I'm doing this voice. The Nobles ODR1 limited edition in green sparkle. Nikki'd like that for Christmas? Why not? And I chose the FZ1W from Boston Fuzz Pedal, which is a fuzz pedal, and the 250 PA power attenuator from Harley Benton, allowing you to play super loud amps at super low volumes. I normally guess what Dan chooses, and then Dan guesses what I would choose.
Okay.
So do you want to play that game whilst the people in the chat decide what they want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first or second? Do you want to guess first or be guessed?
Be guessed first, please.
Okay. Right. I see. This is actually tougher than I think. I think you would. Oh no! I think you would buy the Jeff. No, I think you would buy the Nobles and you'd borrow the Jeff, and you'd burn the power attenuator.
Oh, very close. I think I'd burn the fuzz, actually, just because I think I really don't like the sound of the fuzz. But everything else spot on. I would go for the limited edition. I would buy it because it's limited edition, of course. I would, or else I would seriously buy the Virtual Jeff, but I'm going to borrow it just because of that limited edition. So spot on. But yeah, I would burn the fuzz, I think. I'm so sorry.
I almost chose burning the fuzz, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. So that's why I went for the power attenuator. I'm going to find you a fuzz that you like one day. Okay, yeah. So I was
My
2/3
turn.
right. Go for it.
That's really good. Okay, I think you're going to buy the Virtual Jeff. You're going to borrow the Sparkle just because you have that green original one and you really don't need it, Andy. You really, really don't need it. And you're going to burn the power attenuator. Did I get any of it right? Probably not.
It's so tough. It's really tough. I don't think I would buy the Jeff because it costs one Jeff, and that's a lot of Jeff.
But imagine you could just
if
buy
money was
it.
no object, absolutely. The product that inspires me most out of that list is your Virtual Jeff Pro, without a doubt. Without a doubt, if someone's to say you can have any of this with justifiable expenditure, I would buy the Virtual Jeff Pro. Also because people would say, what's that on your guitar? And I'd say, it's a Virtual Jeff Pro, don't you know? But I would have to borrow the Nobles. Is that what you said? That's what you said? Okay, I would buy the Jeff. I would borrow the Nobles. I have to leave the fuzz out of it because the fuzz is always in there. So I'm breaking the rules by saying ignore the fuzz because that's a given. And I would burn not the power attenuator. I would burn the update to the Kemper because I do not have a Kemper.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Here, Andy,
That
have
makes
an
sense.
update. Thanks very much. Got to go with it? Nope.
So if money was an option, would you then buy the Nobles limited edition, or what would you buy?
I would. It's really hard. It's normally easier than this. Dan, come back. I would buy the fuzz.
Okay.
I think if we're really talking money and my money, it's $199. I would buy the fuzz because I want to know what it sounds like. I'm intrigued, but there's a risk I might not like it. So I know that I already like the Nobles, and it's cheaper.
And you have it.
And I have it already. In fact, my friend Steve likes my Nobles a lot. He won't give it back. So could buy the Nobles, and then Steve could keep the standard one, and that would justify it. But I would probably borrow the Harley Benton to try it out, because as the gear reviewer in me wants to know if it's any good, because it seems too cheap. Seems obtainable by many people that need one. I'd still burn the Kemper update, I think.
Okay.
So I think you
Nice.
also got 2/3, or you've got a good flavour. We're doing pretty well. We know each other fairly well. Let's see
You've
what
done
Fergie in
better.
France said. Fergie in France would buy the Nobles, borrow the fuzz, and my 120 watt amp would make the attenuator burn anyway. Okay. Buzzle would burn the power attenuator. I do not think the amp sounds great coupled with a resistive load. A speaker is a reactive load. Borrow the Boss Fuzz, buy the Virtual Jeff just for the name. Nice. Valeria, buy the Nobles. Lots of Nobles love. Borrow the Fuzz, burn the Camper, just the Camper. Sarang would buy the Wazza Fuzz, good man. Borrow the Jeff, because everyone loves a good Jeff. Burn the Kemper algorithm, because it's just not possible. See, there's sense in this chat. I like it.
Yeah.
Christopher would
Very
buy the
intelligent
Nobles.
people.
Only intelligent people allowed.
Burn the
channel.
Jeff? Excuse me?
Yeah. Do you want to take this one, Nikki?
What? I do not understand. How would you burn the Jeff? The Jeff is golden. It is sent from heaven. It's just a
Jeff
genius product. Jeff Heaven. Jevin.
Jevon, I actually want you. I'm going to reach out, as I sometimes do to companies, and say I'd like to demo or review this gear. I'm going to reach out and say my friend Nicole Milik would like to review a gear. Please send her.
Do
one.
it.
I'm doing it.
I would love that. That would
It's
be
done.
my first guitar gear review. The Virtual Jeff Pro. Let's not forget about the Pro.
Sorry, Jeff. Jeff Pro.
Yeah.
Lots of love
Jeff.
for the Nobles, the Fuzz. That people are worried about the Harley Benton burning itself. We don't know. Maybe I'll get one. Maybe I'll test it. But that was fun. I think Dan's probably gone back to bed. Otherwise, he would have texted me his choices for the week. Nikki Christopher says that he only said that just to mess with you. Well, it
Yeah,
worked, I think.
that's
It
okay.
worked.
That's okay.
Hey, Nicole,
Yeah.
we have a wonderful guest this evening. On
Oh,
our
really?
wonderful We do. She's highly talented, knows lots about gear. She has some news about a new company she's working with. Or it's not that news, but it's news to us on the podcast. I think we should bring her in. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go
Okay,
for
then
it.
let's give her a little introduction. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello.
it's Miss Nicole Milik. Hello, Nicole Milik.
Hello. I should
Welcome
have
to the
changed
show.
clothes very quickly. I
That
put
would've
on
been
glasses
amazing.
or something. Next time
Um,
round.
Okay, yeah. Now I kind of
Hi,
want
it's
that to
so
happen,
great
but
to be back. I
Yeah, it's
can't
amazing to
believe
have
I'm
you
the
back.
first repeat guest.
First repeat guest ever on the Guitar Stories podcast show. Dan was so excited he couldn't come. So it's nothing personal, Nikki. It's not that he doesn't like you. He told me to say that. It's just that, he's not here. He's not here, but you
That's
are.
okay.
People that don't know Nicole Milik, you know a little bit about her by now because she's just been talking about fuzz pedals and stuff. I would put you firmly in the singer-songwriter category. Is that fair of me to do so?
Yeah, that is very correct, I think. I'm a singer
Sing,
and I'm a
you write
songwriter.
songs.
Very basic, but yeah.
I mean,
that's me.
you've also
I play the guitar.
You're also a content creator, for want of a different term, which is everybody's
Yeah.
a content creator these days. But you've been doing it for quite.
I've
a
been doing
while.
it for a while. That's true.
Since
Yeah, I've
before
been
it was
doing it
cool.
for almost 13 years, almost. That's a very long
Actually,
time, isn't
whilst
it?
looking for a photo of you for the thumbnail for today, I found some really old photos of you, and
Oh,
you look like
nice.
a completely different person, like a much younger
Yeah.
you. And this is going to turn into a compliment in a moment, because in fact, that moment's right now. I've only known you for a few years, but you seem, in the way that you present yourself and the way that you smile and laugh and have fun and genuinely seem to love what you do, you seem to be more secure and happy these days, rather than what you look like in those photos. Is that fair to say? Would you agree?
Yeah, I think I'm also a lot more confident in what I'm doing. Like when I started off with my YouTube channel, I was still very shy and I wasn't really sure about what I'm doing basically. And over the years, I've learned a lot in all types of ways. So yeah, I think I'm definitely a lot more secure, a lot more confident, and definitely also happy. I mean, I get to do what I love for a living, and that is very nice.
Yeah, it's a dream, isn't it? And
So
even
thanks
on
for the
hardest
compliment.
days- Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just put that in your back pocket, bring it out, and look at it whenever
Okay.
you're having a bad day.
I will.
Take your Noble's green sparkle out of the other pocket.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and I met through an event we did with Toman, the Live at the Lake, and some other stuff where we did some video series together, and I've been bugging you ever since, and now you're back on the show as our first repeat guest.
I
do
can't believe it.
you're-
I honestly thought you were kidding me because I
What?
was like, there's no way they would want me back on the podcast. Like, that's what I thought. I mean, I loved being on the podcast last year. I really enjoyed it. But afterwards, I was like, oh, I don't know if I was the right choice as a guest for a Guitar Gear podcast. But I'm glad you guys wanted me back. I'm very, very happy and excited.
I'm going to put that in my back pocket and take that out. On behalf of Dan and myself, you're very welcome. I had a great time. Dan did, and we welcome you back to the show because even though we do talk about gear and we have talked about gear, it's the Guitar Stories podcast, which is a very wide umbrella term for anything to do with guitars and about the person that we're talking to. And
Yeah.
I think we got to know you a little bit in the past, and I hope that we get a little deeper this time. So
Oh, yeah.
since we spoke
A
to you
lot
last,
has changed.
yeah, a lot has changed. I mean, you look different, and I want to give you props
yeah.
for that. But I'll let you explain why you look different. Do you want to touch on that?
Well, yeah, the last time I was on the podcast, I had very, very, very long hair. It was very long. It was actually 40 centimeters longer than it is right now. And I cut it off 2 months ago, I think it was now, and donated it to charity, which is something I wanted to do for forever. And it's taken forever to have a hair that's long enough to do that. But yeah, I'm very happy I got to do that.
That's a very Nobles thing to do.
Ooh, good one.
Well, thanks. No, genuinely, it's wonderful. When I read that you did that, where has the hair gone? So you didn't just throw some hair out of a moving car to some charity. You did something with the hair, right?
Yeah, I send it to the charity. So basically, you put it in an envelope and you send it to the charity, and they make wigs out of it. Yeah, or one wig, basically. I don't think you can do multiple wigs out of my hair, although I do have a lot of hair, so who knows?
Depends.
Yeah.
And who are the wigs for? What is the charity?
There you can choose what you want to do with the hair. So I went with it's called Kinderkrebshilfe in Germany. So it's for children who were diagnosed with cancer and they're going through chemo and losing their hair, so they can feel a bit more themselves again. So yeah, that's where the hair's gone to, and I hope it finds a new and happy home and makes someone happy. That would be awesome.
I'm sure it does. Again, it's a noble thing. You still managed to have fairly long hair, so your hair must have been really long to begin with.
Yeah, it was very long.
Yeah. But yeah, that's an amazing thing. If you don't know Nicole, then that's one of the things she does. And
Andy should
generally-
donate his hair. Says
Andy-
Jack in the chat.
Would anyone want this hair? Really?
I think so. I would want it.
Really? You want to swap hair?
Yeah, sure. I always wanted to have curly hair all my life. I think curls are just the one.
That's the thing. Just to talk, I'm just sorting out. I've just made the it's not symmetrical, and that's driving me nuts. It's very hard to keep a symmetrical fro. I have a fro pick somewhere. I think just to speak on behalf of the curly-haired people, we don't want the curly hair most of the time. We want the straight hair, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you've all heard this story.
That's a
before.
problem, isn't it?
If someone wants to Photoshop, Nikki, if you want to move your mic for a second, and take a screenshot. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah. So I've just screenshotted that. But if someone wants to do something with that to exchange our hair, that would be highly amusing for me, and maybe we can even do some good with it. Oh, Dan has just sent me something. Oh, he sent his pics in the chat. Sorry, I missed it, Dan. Dan's typing to me. Go to bed, Dan. Andy's talking. He says good night and send his regards to you, Nikki. Thank you.
Oh, good night.
Sleep well, sweet prince. Yeah, I think that this kind of cutting your hair off and donate it to charity really fits with my my version of Nikki that lives in my head. My friend Nikki, who writes good songs and sings beautiful covers and generally brings happiness to people's lives. And I know people in the chat are going to agree with me, the people that come from your channel. That sounds like something Nicole Milik would do. And I'm really glad that some of that has come back to you this year, because you're now recognized by a certain guitar brand that you've been promoting as long as I've known you, and even longer. You're now a Taylor artist.
I'm now a Taylor guitars artist, yes. And that's been my dream for at least 10 years. I remember there's like a form that you can fill out on the Taylor Guitars page to apply for being a Taylor Guitars artist. And I don't know how many times I applied for that when I was younger. And yeah, it never happened. They probably thought, what's that annoying German girl? But yeah, I got an email from Taylor Guitars, and they were like, hey, would you like to send us some high resolution photos and a bio, and we'd like to put you on our Taylor Guitars artist page. And I was like, what? So yeah, now I'm a Taylor Guitars artist, and I couldn't be happier because yeah, I just love Taylor Guitars. What can I say? It's my favorite guitar brand, and I love it.
Congratulations.
Could have been a better match. Thank you so much.
So you are one of those weird people that don't actually own a lot of guitars and a lot of guitar gears, or has that changed? Has that changed?
Well, I've got 3 Taylor guitars now, and
3.
I love them all very much. And I'm sure that I fell in love with a new Taylor guitar yesterday, I think, because they introduced, I think I missed it. They've actually introduced the guitar a month ago, but I was away on holiday, so I missed it completely. But it's the American Dream 22E. Oh my god, it's got a mahogany top. It just looks so beautiful.
American
Dream so
22E.
I fell in love with a new guitar.
So what is it about it that... So you said mahogany top then. You said you didn't know about gear and stuff, but do you know about woods and acoustic guitars and things? Are you that way?
Well, yeah, I know a lot about Taylor guitars and what, I'm a big Koa fan, Koa wood. I think Koa wood is the best sounding wood that you can get for an acoustic guitar. I wouldn't say I'm an expert when it comes to acoustic guitars and wood, but I know more about acoustic guitars and wood than I know about gear. That's for sure. But yeah, it's got a mahogany top, and I think it's got that really warm sound to it. So I watched a lot of guitar reviews last night and this morning, and I'm very much in love, and it's very much top of the list for me when it comes to guitars. Oh, look at that beautiful guitar. Yeah, so that's the 27 though. It's not the 22, because the 22 is actually
hang on a
grand
second.
concert, I think.
It's not framed it correctly. Hang on. There you go.
Oh,
There's
there we go. Yeah, it's a grand concert, so it's a different shape. And I don't own a grand concert yet. So I've got a Grand Pacific, which is the shape of the normal American Dream guitars. And I've got like a normal Dreadnought and the Mini. So I don't have a grand concert, and it would just look very good in my guitar collection, I think. I also don't have a mahogany guitar yet, so yeah, I think it's very beautiful. And it's quite small, but it's not as small as the GS Mini, so it's like the perfect in-between guitar, I think. So yeah.
Do you have a GS
I'm a bit in love. I do.
I thought you did that. I think
It's right here.
Oh, hello. Hang on, we'll go back to our massive chat now. There it is.
There we go. Look at her. She's so pretty. I'm going to put that microphone away for a sec.
I'll just, it's got a really nice top. It's quite symmetrical top as well, which I like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's very
That's important to
symmetrical,
me.
which... Mm-hmm.
Daisy Garcia wants to know how many Jeffs is the AD22E?
Oh, that's a lot. I think it's about...
Is it 1800?
Three-ish. Yeah, I think
about
it's
3 Jeffs.
1800.
Yeah, I'm looking at the AD27 is about 3 Jeffs.
So it's not super expensive because, I mean, it's still a lot of money, but for Taylor guitars, it's the more affordable range. I think the American Dream, that's why they called it American Dream. It's like super high quality guitars, but for a more affordable price. So, yeah, it's like
we're
really
looking
good
at 3
quality
Jeffs.
for a little less.
I'm on musicstore.com, 3 Jeffs.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see.
I've been to Taylor. I've chatted and hugged it out with Andy Powers and been to the workshop, and there is something special about Taylor guitars. I also have a Taylor acoustic which I bought a few years ago, the same model that you have, Nikki, but mine's a what would you call it, a natural top, I guess. You have the what's the name of the
Wild Honey Burst.
Wild Honey Burst. I really wanted that one, but the one that I played was not a Wild Honey Burst, and it was just that guitar that I fell in love with. And
yeah, you know what?
I didn't have the money, but I had to.
The day after our Life at the Lake show, I wanted to buy the Wild Honey Burst Taylor guitar. And you said to me, oh, I'm going to go there and order it for you so you can play it and buy it because I had some other stuff to do. And you ordered the wrong one. You ordered the natural top. So I went there and it was the natural one and I had to catch my train, so I didn't buy it. And that was totally okay. Okay. Didn't want to put you on the spot because thankfully I didn't buy it. And then like literally a month later, Taylor Guitars sent me the Grand Pacific Wild Honey Burst. So maybe that would have never happened if you didn't order the wrong guitar for me. So you're an actual hero.
You're welcome. Did I just save you a buttload of money?
Yeah, you did.
Damn it.
Probably about 5 Jeffs.
About 5 Jeffs, yeah. At least 5 Jeffs. Well, I didn't know.
Isn't it even more, isn't it?
Now we've learned something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I played one of them in America, and I was with Guillaume, and we played, I think there were 2 models available, and we both played them, and we played our first jam ever together on those 2 guitars. And it was a really emotional moment because we'd been friends for a long time, or what seemed like a long time, but we'd never actually played together. And
oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, our first jam, I'll never forget it. On the new Taylors, and yeah, phenomenal guitars. And I don't play it enough, Nikki, especially on the channel. I need to start making some music on the channel. I feel the desire, the need.
Yeah, maybe you could start doing a bit more acoustic guitar review gear stuff, because I'd be interested.
All right. Shall I review the guitar that we both own?
You could. I mean, it's a great guitar.
It really, really is. My friend Steve, who I play in a band with, he always says that Taylors are the perfect pop guitar because they're so predictable, and in a mix they sound just so like an acoustic guitar should sound. And
Mm-hmm.
I own a few acoustic guitars, but my two top ones are that Taylor, and I have one from Atkin Guitars in the UK, which is a Gibson
Mm-hmm.
J45 inspired model. That has so much character, that the Atkin one, and the Taylor is like this timid sort of Zen guitar that just makes a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
sound. And the Atkin one has slightly more attitude. So I tend to find myself playing the Atkin more.
Mm-hmm.
But recording wise, I would definitely want the Taylor for recording stuff. If an acoustic guitar was part of a mix, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I always say that playing a Taylor guitar feels like coming home because it just feels so safe, like safe and cozy and comfortable. I think playing Taylor guitars, I mean, everyone's got a different taste, and for some, Gibson will be the right choice or Martin or whatever. But for me, playing a Taylor guitar, it's just very comfortable. I can play a Taylor guitar for hours and hours and hours, and it's just such a nice guitar to play, like whichever model, I think. Um, so yeah, that's how I feel about those guitars. But I totally get that. It's like that all rounder. I think you can do a lot with a Taylor guitar.
I agree. I hate to say it, but I don't play my Taylor so much that I did consider not owning it anymore, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. As soon as the thought came into my head, I know. But well, number one, I thought you and I will never be friends again. Firstly,
Oh my god,
and
never.
secondly, I can't. It's that guitar, that piece of wood, that craftsmanship that's gone into it. It is. I wouldn't say it's like coming home for me, but it is certainly a very reliable instrument that gives so much back. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
kind of agree with what you've said.
You know what?
So
I always said I would
what's that?
never give any guitar away and never sell a guitar. That was like a commitment I I I took a few years back, and I'm currently giving away a guitar of mine, which is my Ibanez guitar actually, just because I've
Wait a
never
second. Wait. There you go. Every time
because I
Ibanez, yeah.
actually never felt so attached to it as I feel. And I know I'm only ever going to play my Taylor guitars ever. And the last years actually, it's been like almost 2 years that we've been in this pandemic. They really haven't been that easy, and I just built that very loving and supporting community. So I want to give back what I can. And yes, this month I'm giving away one of my guitars. And sometimes, and I'm not saying it to make you get rid of that guitar, but sometimes you gotta let go of something to then have something. Maybe it isn't the one for you. Maybe you're gonna sell that guitar, and then a new guitar is gonna enter your life, a new acoustic guitar, and you're gonna play it all day every day. So as much as I love Taylor guitars, and as much as I would say, hey, think about it a couple more times, maybe it just isn't for you, and it's going to make someone else happier.
I think Nicole Milik just gave me permission to sell my Taylor guitar. You're a bad brand ambassador.
If you want. I mean, it's going to find a new home, basically. I would still say don't do it, but I think, and that's what I love about Taylor guitars. They're not like, oh, look, we're the best guitar brand in the world. But if you feel that feeling, you know it. If you know it, you know it, And if you don't, then go ahead. Yeah, I just want people to play the guitar and feel the love for guitars. And I don't really care what guitar you play, but if it's a Taylor, even better.
Well, I agree. I have an obscene amount of guitars in my house. It's embarrassing how many guitars are here. Even if this weren't my job, it would still be obscene, and I feel guilty most of the time. But there are certain guitars that I super hard connect with, and some that I just think are really nice guitars, and some that are tools, and some that I think, I might play that one day. And I yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I want to go back to the giveaway. How would one qualify to have Nicole Milik's guitar that she doesn't want anymore?
Well, that might be the point that lots of people won't like as much. But basically, what I thought, because I go live every Thursday on YouTube, and we have that Thursday club. We call ourselves the Thursday Club, and people basically donate money and support me in that way, so I can still be a full-time musician. So what you do is you, like, for every €5 that you send, I'm gonna put your name in a jar, and then I'm gonna pull out a name at the end of the month, and that's gonna be the winner.
Awesome. And is that that's international?
It is international. However, the winner pays for the postage. I pay for the packaging. So I'm going to make sure it's
That's
safe.
fair.
And the winner
That's
pays
fair.
the postage. Yeah.
Would
That's
they
how it
get
works.
a little note from you maybe in the package that makes it even more
Oh,
special?
of course. Yeah, of course. I'll think of a couple of things.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
But I mean, they get my guitar, and that's a very big deal for me, actually, giving my guitar away. But yeah, I'm just very thankful for those people, and I think this guitar deserves a better home because it's never gonna get played in this household. So it better gets a new home.
I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. You've made a big step
Thanks.
since we last spoke.
Well,
However, you are making me feel extremely guilty.
why?
'Cause I've just said that I had too many guitars, and I actually had a conversation with, I can't mention who it was because they're very important and famous. No, it was just a heated conversation, and I kind of did want to give something back to my community on this wonderful channel of Guitar Geeks. I will probably be giving some guitars away also very soon. Not to jump on your idea, um,
Oh no,
but
why not? I think
it is so important to encourage people to make music. And if there's, I get people writing to me, however, and I did. If I can bring up a negative point of what we're talking about, someone wrote me in a comment section, I would love to play guitar. I need that guitar. Please send me that guitar. And I get those comments quite often. And I thought, screw it. So I wrote to them. I said, email me and we'll sort this out. And that person did. And then that person turned out to be not a very nice person. And concocted some whole story and really put me off of this whole sort of giving malarkey. And yeah, he really spoilt it for himself. And I'm trying not to give away details that I can't. But what I'm trying to say is that I think what you're doing is also very noble, and I want to do that. And I feel like I should.
Yeah, I feel very sorry that happened to you. Those people unfortunately exist on the internet. And that's why I know that, you feel kind of guilty in a way and you want to give back. And, if someone writes something like this, you're like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And then if it turns out to be a bit of a downer, then that isn't a good feeling. And that's why, and I know some people would say, like, if you want to give back, then why do you have this paywall in a way, but that's some, like, my way of knowing that these people really care, because I don't want to just give my guitar away to someone who's going to throw it in a corner and just be like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I really want to know that the people that get it appreciate it as much as I appreciate that support. And I think that's actually like a good way to deal with something like this, probably.
I 100%, hang on, I'll try that again. I 100% support your choice to do that with, it is a paywall, but it's also, it's a filtration system to filter out the chances.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, or I'd hope, that anyone that is worthy of this guitar could somehow raise a small amount of money to set that up. Or I'm also sure if it really came down to it and you found the right person, you would find some way of helping, and not necessarily give them a guitar, but finding some way, maybe send them to me,
Yeah.
Yeah. Send all your junk emails to Andy. Thanks. No, but I truly believe that good breeds good. And if someone's worthy of something, you can help them, then you should help them. It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do guitar giveaways. Pedals are easy. Let me know in the chat. Would you be, if I was giving away a guitar, would you be willing to pay the shipping, etc., etc., etc.? If that's the case, that's the only thing I'm worried about is shipping and stuff, because it's a logistical nightmare at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I haven't actually thought about that yet. But it's actually not as expensive as I thought it would be. Like, I thought that shipping a guitar would be super expensive, but it's not.
No, it
It's
depends.
not really.
It can be complicated, but like pedals are super easy. Okay, things are coming back in the chat. Valeria says sure thing. Nikki, as nice as Valeria is, she's lovely. She lives in Chile. It's quite hard to get stuff to Chile, as we know on this podcast. Dan's trying to give her a hoodie, and it's quite difficult. It's an in-joke.
Yeah, I've tried sending my EP to Australia, and I resend it again because it never arrived the other side of the world. So, yeah, some places are tricky to send to, but
I did a
it is
giveaway
what it is.
for my 40th birthday. Yes, I know, I'm 40. I gave away 40 things for my 40th birthday, and it was very, very kindly sponsored by the brands and people. So I ended up honestly not having to spend that much money myself compared to how much money I thought I was going to have to spend. And that was actually quite smooth. It went quite well. There were only like 5 people that had real trouble. So I'm inspired by you, Nikki. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because a couple of years ago, I was like, oh my God, I want to own as many guitars as possible. And I would still say if I could own every single Taylor guitar on this planet, I would buy a house to have every single Taylor guitar.
Taylor Towers.
That's not the point, but yeah, but owning guitars that don't give you the spark, there's really no point in my opinion. Because they might give someone else the spark, they might make someone else feel incredible.
You're right. Just looking around now, seeing what I could give away.
I'll take that white, I forgot the name, but it's really beautiful. This one. Mm-hmm.
The Valiant.
Very nice looking
Valiant
guitar.
Guitars Jupiter. Anyway, talking about guitars, we should probably use them. I asked you if you would perform for us tonight. It would be my absolute honor to hear you play some music. And Dan has gone to sleep, so he's going to be waiting for this when he wakes up.
Okay, I'll just have to plug in a different microphone for the performance.
You sort
if
that
that's
out.
Okay.
What I can do is I can take you off the screen for a moment while you do that, and I can still see you in the bottom. So you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. You go and get yourself ready.
Perfect.
So everybody, I can still hear Nicole, by the way. So while she's clunking around, I can hear that. There is Alf, by the way, who's come all the way from England to my house. I am going to give away an Ibanez acoustic guitar with the love of Dan. Dan wrote me a message and said that I do not have to send him an acoustic guitar back. I will give away the Ibanez acoustic. It's very entry level, but anyone who doesn't have an acoustic guitar, any guitar is better than one you do not have. So, also sorry for making you wait for Nikki to sing. I've been looking forward to this all night. We got carried away nattering on. I will figure out some way of getting that guitar to some people as a nice Christmas present. But she's tapping the mic. It's really loud in my ears.
Sorry.
You just let me know when you're ready, Nikki, and I will continue talking to the people. What else have I got in this room that I could share with you? There's Bob down there. Bob lost his hair. Poor Bob. I think Nikki's ready, so we're going to go back to this one. And
hello.
There she is. Firstly, which guitar are you playing?
So it works, right? I'm playing
I can hear you, yeah.
Koa.
GS Mini Koa.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. Maybe I should actually tune my guitar real quick. It's got an inbuilt tuner. tuna.
Tuna.
Tuna. Tuna.
You said that with all of your chin then. It was amazing. Tuna.
Tuna.
I don't know what you're going to play. I'm going to go away from the screen and be quiet. Introduce yourself, but ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, amazingly talented Taylor artist, Nicole Milik.
Woo! Thank you so much, Andy. I'm actually going to play a song that I know that you really like. It's an original song of mine, and it's called Bad Day, because I've been having quite a few bad days every now and then in the last 2 years. And I came up with a line one day that said, sometimes a bad day is the only way to feel better. And I strongly believe in it. Sometimes you just need a bad day and you really need to feel really bad to feel better the next day. So that's the song. I hope you like it. Been staring at these photos for too long, mixed with a bit of ceiling and my phone, and it's craving for a new day. It's too strong, but no matter what I do, it goes on and on and on and on. I'm at war with myself, I can make it, and I fall back, turn the other cheek, I scream, no, the irony goes around will come right back to me. Sometimes a bad day is the only way to feel better. Oh, it won't last forever, I see. Sometimes a bad day is the only way to feel better, but somehow it always gets the better of me. Been sitting in the same spot on this cold floor, waiting for a miracle, just a warm thought, working on a way to unravel the knot. But in reality, I'm just crying a lot, and I'm so sick of the things that I see. Hear the words going round, round and repeat. Feels like I'm fighting with lines, but I'm trying to find a way out of this autopilot. But how many times can I say I'm okay till I start to believe I am feeling this way? They say the one you feed is the one to grow, but the anger just won't let me go. Oh, so I guess sometimes a bad day is the only way to feel better. Oh, it won't last forever, I see. Sometimes a bad day is the only way to feel better, but somehow it always gets the better of me. Sometimes bad days the only way to feel better, but somehow it always gets the better of me.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thanks.
I can only echo what was being said in the chat as you were playing that, and yeah, beautiful voice, beautiful song. Absolutely, you could not have chosen a better song to play for me. That is my favorite song that you do. The lyrics speak so much, and the rhythm. It's just a really happy song, and some great advice in there as well. It's really one of my favorite songs, and you haven't released it yet.
Thank you.
Am I right?
I have not. I have not. I actually planned on releasing it this year, and that didn't really happen. But it's definitely going to happen. So it's going to come out at some point for sure.
Please do speak to your producer. I think you're going to make at least 50 Jeffs off that song.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. Yeah, about 50 Jeffs. And hello to Max. Max is in the house. Hello, Max.
Oh, is he in the chat? Hello. I don't have the chat anymore. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
let's have
well, he is there. It's on the screen now, and it's not on the screen anymore. It's gone. But yeah, I'm sure the people listening to this, if you're listening to the audio version, I hope that came across as beautiful as it did as I'm sitting here. Nicole Milik is a natural talent, and I say natural in the sense that she works extremely hard at what she does. It's very clear. But what a great song. Thank you,
Thank
Nikki.
you so much. And thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm only just reading it, so thank you so much for all the love.
Yeah, I hope that some of the Guitar Geek family come over and join you, because they will be entertained at least every Thursday. But you've got a whole back catalogue of stuff for people to check out, playing Taylor guitars
Oh, yeah.
as well. Yeah. I actually remember promising you that I was going to write a guitar part for that, because I remember writing to you and saying I can hear a guitar.
Yeah.
I will do it. I might even do it to that little
You
version
should
that
do
you
it.
just did then, because I wanted to pick up a guitar, but it wouldn't have worked, technically speaking.
Yeah, that would have been a bit of a latency issue. It could have been fun. Little challenge for me to just
Here's
keep
a nice
going.
idea. Sorry, Fergie in France has said, release the song with a 24-bar instrumental section in the middle for us to play solos over the top.
Awesome. I might release like an extra version for all of you.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure it's very single compatible if I go for like an instrumental
Solo.
part in the middle, but I could do that. Or like on my YouTube, that might work.
I think you really, really should. I think that's. I will join in. That's for sure. But it always throws me when Nikki sings, because I actually had to sing with you twice or three times in a set, and I was too busy listening to you to actually either remember what the lyrics were, or remember what notes or when I should be singing.
But it did work out very well.
Oh yeah, we rocked. We rocked that lake.
Absolutely.
You've inspired me. I need to pick up my acoustic guitar, my Taylor, and it's been 8 years since I last released something, so I need to do something there. And I didn't know how much I needed this, Nikki. Thank you.
Oh, you're so very welcome. What is it called again? Red Lorry or something?
The first one was called Red Lorry. The second one was called Yellow Lorry.
Red Lorry. Yellow Lorry. I love that. So what's next? Green or blue lorry?
Well, it has to be.
Or is it going to be something else?
Something new, because Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry was. I had a speech impediment when I was a child, and basically my tongue is too big for my mouth, and my tongue is tied, and I don't have much control over the words that come out of my mouth unless I really concentrate. And I had speech therapy, and Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry was the sentence or the phrase I had to repeat to teach my mouth where to put itself. And I felt that I needed to reflect that in my artistry.
I love that.
But I think now my life has entered a way different chapter, and I think it would be time to do maybe a different vehicle, like a hoverboat or something like that, like a camouflage hoverboat.
Great.
Hovercraft.
Awesome.
I don't know. We'll see what comes. But all I can say is, when is your next release coming? When do we get more Nicole Milik? I know we get Thursday clubs.
We get Thursday clubs, and we get a Milik Monday, which is every Monday at 7 p.m. Central European time. You get a new video on my YouTube channel. And me and music releases, we have a very weird relationship. So it's taken me a long time to release a single after I released an EP. And that is almost a year ago. So I haven't released a song in a year. And it won't take that much longer. So I have recorded the final vocals for a new single 2 weeks ago. So that's coming at some point. And then I really want to release more music, but it's just not happening. But I'm working on it.
I'm glad to hear it. And maybe the Jeff Pro will arrive just in time for your latest or your next single. Well,
imagine that.
I kind of forgot that we were doing a show, and I thought we were just chatting, which is always a good sign that it's been a good show. I'm really sorry that Dan wasn't here. Max, thank you for the super chat. I think you've sent it to the wrong person, but it's come to me.
That's
very kind
good.
of you, mate.
Very well deserved.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a sign of a good show when I forget that we're actually doing a show. It just feels like a bunch of friends chatting, and makes me happy. So thank you for being here for the entire show. Thank you for choosing gear, and thank you so much for performing for us. I really think that was one of my favorite shows. Considering that Dan wasn't here, I feel terrible in saying that.
Oh my God.
I feel terrible. But Dan will
Thank you so much for
100%
having me.
agree. He'll agree. Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you
and
so much. I've had the
maybe you'll be
best
the
time,
first
and
person-
I think I'm
Sorry.
actually. No, you go first.
I was going to say maybe you'll be the first person to come back for a third time.
Ooh. Imagine that. You know, last time I only had like my little Shure microphone. Now I have like a proper setup. Maybe next time I'm going to have an electric guitar and pedals. Who knows?
Don't tease us. Do not lie to us.
And the one and only virtual Jeff to go with it. Pro.
I so hope you get
Virtual
a Jeff.
Pro. Get it now.
Right, everybody spam the Instagram and Twitter and everything from the Jeff Company to get Nicole Milik a Jeff. Oh my goodness, the super chats are coming in thick and fast. Jack, thank you so much. You are our new stream boss. You just knocked Max off. So
Thanks,
it's
Jack.
it's my financial interest to stay around for a little bit longer. But I'm not going to do that.
And we can keep talking. Keep those
Yeah.
donuts in. We call donations donuts in my live stream.
Oh, I like that. In fact, you can give me some tips. What could I do to improve this stream? Donuts, I like that.
Maybe you should call the donations like fuzzies because you like fuzz so much. So the
Little
people
fuzz-
could send
Can I call
you
them little
fuzz
fuzzies?
or fuzzies. Little fuzzies. How about little fuzzies?
I feel like I go all camp and say, "Ooh, Max has sent me a little fuzzy." That's how I would say it, I think, in the future.
Thanks, Max, for the little fuzzies. I like that, actually.
Okay. I think this sums up my feelings of the episode from Christopher Lewis, that Nikki needs to become a regular. And I know that she's a very busy person, but that would make Dan and I very happy. So you're welcome back.
Imagine that.
anytime.
My own little segment. Can we hear
Nikki's
that
Gear of the Week.
pig gear? Yeah, can we hear that song again, please? Just one
Yeah.
more time.
Of course. Where is it? There it is. Nikki's pick.
Nikki's pick of the week. Nikki's pick of the week.
I love it.
I will send that to you. It is yours to do with as you wish.
Thanks.
Your ringtone when someone annoying calls you or something. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us this evening. Thank you if you're listening to the audio version. If Dan were here, Nikki, he would say, please give us 5 stars on iTunes and all that to rate the podcast version, and then take your significant other's phone or your fans' phone, your mum's, dad's, someone else's phone, and do the same on their phone while they're not looking, and then he'd smile like that.
Okay, guys. If you're listening to this podcast on, let's say, Spotify or what is that Apple podcast app called again? I don't
called
even know. I
Podcast.
don't listen to podcasts, but it was good so far. Podcast. If you're listening to this on podcast or Spotify, make sure you give this wonderful Guitar Stories podcast 5 stars. It really only takes you a couple of seconds, but it helps us a lot, so please do it. And Dan and Andy will thank you forever. Then take the phone of your significant other, or your mum, or your dad, or your grandpa, your grandma, your best friend, your dog, whoever, and just give it another 5 stars. Thank you very much. And while you edit, give it a little comment. Just write a little comment. It only takes you a couple of seconds if you're a good typer. If not, it takes you a couple of minutes, but it really does help a lot. So please take the time of your day and do it. Thank you very much. Forgot to smile there.
I'm so keeping that as a Guitar Stories little segment. That could be your weekly segment. I'm sure Dan would agree. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're very
yeah.
welcome.
Before we sign off, Nikki, I've got some great news for fans of this podcast. Next week, Dan and I will be in the same room doing the podcast together live. Where I am visiting him in Germany at Meinl, Ibanez. And we have a very special guest. Mr. Henning Pauli will be our guest that week. And we're going to talk all kinds of gear. Yeah. mind-blowing, I know, but it's going to happen next week. So sign in.
That is
live
the
next week.
news. That's so much better than the guitar news.
Sorry. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, we're going to be in the same room. Sadly, Nikki won't be there, but she will be back at some point in the future. Nikki, will you come back at some point in the future?
Of course. Every
Right.
time you ask me.
Don't sign up to that because you never know when I might need a guest at last notice. Okay, go and subscribe to Nikki's channel as well because you get much more of that music that she performed this evening. Nikki, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and everything that you do. And people of the chat and
Thank
people of
you
the
so
audio
much.
podcast world, thank you for watching, listening, and love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for everything guitar.